Good day, my dear classmates, and welcome to another chess lesson. I hope you are all doing fine. And today we are going to learn about good moves or good squares and bad squares. In playing chess, it is important that you determine where you put your pieces. If you put your pieces in bad squares, then there is a possibility that your opponent will capture your piece. And you don't like your opponent capturing your piece because you'll be using that piece to win a game. On the other hand, you must be able to capture your opponent's piece without anything in exchange. So, this is the basic thing that you need to learn because every piece in the board is important and it's very important in contributing to you winning the game. The more pieces you retain or you get from your opponent or you capture from your opponent, the better chance of you winning the game. Okay. Let's do the first example. Like, for example, this. Now, you are playing the rook. Now, let us determine where the good squares for the rook is. Okay, I will put green circle for good squares, and we will put red circles for bad squares. Let's go ahead and check this out. The rook can go up, down, and right if it is on the A2 square. Now, let's pinpoint all the squares where the rook can go and let's put red circle for bad squares and green circles for good squares. Let's go ahead and check this out. Now, if I put the rook on B2, is it going to be safe for me? Red square or green square? Now, our opponent's piece is bishop. See, the bishop is able to guard all these squares. Now, let's find out where to put our rook. Okay, so green square, a green square. Now, is this a green square? No, it's not a green square because if you put the rook on F2, okay, it's going to be captured by the bishop. Now, the rook can go to G2 as well. Is it a green square? Yes, it's a green square. And also H2 is a green square. So you have to be careful not to put your rook on F2 because the bishop will capture. Also, let's see. A1 is a green square. A3 is a green square. No, it's not a green square. It's a red square because the bishop can capture your rook if you put it on A3. Now, how about A4? A4 is a green square, and A5 is also green square. A6 green square, and the A7 square. Is it a green square or a red square? It is a red square and green square for the rook. Is it easy or not easy? Of course, it's easy. Okay, you just need to look where your opponent's pieces are going, and you will be able to see if it's a green or red square. Now, as you learn chess along the way, these concepts become deeper and deeper because there will be more pieces. There will be lots of things to consider. But right now, let's just go ahead and practice in simple positions. Let's have another one. Another one is this, the bishop. Now the queen is our opponent. The queen can go to almost less than half of the squares on the board. Okay, so let's find out what are the green and red squares for our bishop. Okay, let's see. These are the arrows to help you check, okay, which are the red squares. Now let's see. The bishop. Okay, E4. Is it a green square or a red square? Yes, it's a green square. How about D5? D5 is a red square. How about C6? Okay, another red square. Look how powerful the queen is. You have you have more red squares if you are against the queen. See? Okay, even B7 is a red square, and the safe square for this part of the diagonal of your bishop are only two out of three. Now at this part, Okay, this diagonal, the E2 and the D1. Let's see. The E2 is green square and the D1 is a red square. On this side, G4 is a red square and green square for H5. And for G2, one green square and H1 is green square. Okay, so if you will notice, okay, the queen is so powerful that it restricts your pieces from moving in more squares than the other pieces. Okay, let's check another example. How about the queen? Where can the queen go? The queen is against a bishop and a rook. Let's see. What are the squares where the queen can go? Up, down, left, right. Okay, diagonals. Excuse me. And this. Okay. And the bishops, the white bishop, are controlling the diagonals in the dark, starting from d6. Okay, and the rook. See how it gets more complicated when you add more pieces? Okay, this is what we will figure out right now. Let's do this one by one. So, part of being a chess player is being careful where you put your pieces. Okay? So, let's start with f8. Green square or red square? Okay, it's red square because the bishop will capture. How about f6? F6 is a green square. F5 is also green square. How about F4? Okay, red square, green square. How about F2? Now the rook, we should look out for the rook of our opponent as well. And it is a red square because the rook can capture the queen if we put our queen on F2. Now, F1 is green square. Now let's go to this file, to this rank. E7 is a red square and the D7 is green square, green square, green square, green square. And also let's go to G7 green, H7 green. Wow. Okay. And let's go with the queen on this diagonal. The queen on E6 is green square, D5 is green square, C is C4 is red square, okay, because the rook can capture green square and red square. On this diagonal, let's see, green square and green square, green square and green square. Now, do you think I am correct in all of the squares where the queen can go? Yeah, I missed one. I missed one square here where I put green and it was red. I want you to put it on the comment section. Which square did I miss? Thank you so much. And here on chapter 4, here we go. The queen is against a knight and the bishop. Let's see. Green square, red square, green square, and red square. Okay, because the bishop is guarding those squares. D3 is a green square, D2 is green square, and D1 is a green square. Now let's go on this rank. Green square, and green square. This, green square, and how about this? Oh, this is a red square because the bishop is also guarding that square. And also the knight is also guarding that square. As you see, one, two, turn. Green square, and then it is red square. Good. Now let's go at this diagonal. Green square or red square? Oh, it's automatic. It's red square because this diagonal is guarded by the bishop. Green square, green square, green square, green square, green square, green square, green square. Is this a green square? No, it's not a green square. It's also controlled by the bishop. Okay, and this is a green square. Green, green, and green. Okay, so that's how to check if it is um good square or bad square. Did I miss something here? Okay, I want you to put on the comment section what I missed on this fourth illustration. Okay, now let's go to the fifth one. Oh, the knight against the queen. Okay, the knight can go one, two, turn. Okay, green square. One, two, turn. Is it a green square or a red square? Okay, a red square. One, two, turn. Okay, a red square. One, two, turn. Red square. One, two, turn. Green square. And one, two, turn. Green square. And one, two, turn. Is it a green or a red square? Of course, we know that it is red square because the queen is on that diagonal. See? Okay, that's how powerful the queen is. Let's see. This is chapter 6. Now, our knight versus the king and the knight of the opponent. Let's see. Okay. One, two, turn. Okay. The king is guarding the square, so it's a red square. One, two, turn. Again, it's a red square. One, two, turn. Okay, is it a green square or a red square? It's a red square because it's being guarded by the knight on g4. One, two, turn. Okay, so also it's being guarded by the knight on g4. One, two, turn. One, two, turn. One, two, turn. And one, two, turn. Okay, so this is how to visualize the squares where your pieces can go. Okay, you understand now? Okay, let's have another one. Okay, this one, the rook. The rook can go up, down, left, and right. Okay, let's find out which squares can the rook go and which squares can the rook not go. Okay, so let's go. Okay, is this a green square or a red square? It's a red square, and a red square because the king is guarding these three squares. See, king is also powerful because it controls at least 8 squares around it. And this is what? Can the king reach the square? Of course not. Okay, so this is a green square. How about this square? Can the king reach the square? No, but the knight can. So it's a red square. Green square, and it is a red square. Okay, how about this square? The d4 square. Correct. It's also a red square. You are getting the hang of moving the knight, okay? Because you are able to see that the knight is also protecting the d4 square. See, because one, two, turn. One, two, turn. One, two, turn. Okay, how about the square on c4? Okay, the knight could not capture the pawn on c4 or the rook on c4 if it lands on c4 because, okay, the knight always turns. Okay, how about in b4? Yes, it is a red square. And this one, it's a green square. All of the squares here are green squares. Okay. Now, it is important, once again, okay, to know the squares, okay, or the squares of the board and determine if it's safe for your pieces or not. Because, see, if you are unable to determine the squares or the safeness of the squares where you put your pieces, then you will just end up giving your pieces away. It's one skill that you should practice. You would be able to perfect this one, no? Okay? You would be able to be good at this one if you practice all the time and you are looking and paying attention to where your opponent's pieces are. Okay, just like in real life, okay, you don't go to places where you will be in danger, no? Okay, can we capture the knight? No, we could not capture the knight. It is also red square because the king is protecting. The king and the king could not actually face each other. They could not be in front of each other because they will be putting if you're, for example, white would go here to g6, it would actually be captured by the king. It can never happen in a game. Okay, the computer will not allow you to put your king in front or one square beside the king of the opponent. Okay, you know why? Because they both have stinky breaths. Okay, and they will die, both die if ever they smell each other's breath. And okay, is this a green square? Yes, it is a green square. And another green square, another green square, and this too. Is it green or red? Put down your answers in the comment section for the E4 and the G4 square. Is it green or red squares? All right. So that's it for good squares and bad squares. I hope you have learned something from this lesson today and you would be able to use it in your game. So for those who haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel and like all the videos, give comments and suggestions on how we could improve this channel. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys again.